Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Gary here. It's a Monday. I don't know what day of the week it is. Monday, I don't know what the date is. I can't remember half the time. Hope you all had a nice weekend. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're on your way back looking at me again, welcome back. Today's episode is going to be a little bit about generosity, people that are generous with their money, people that are born cheapskates, freeloaders, If you've lived long enough, and you're here as a mature adult, man or woman, I think everyone in their life has experienced being around people that take advantage of you for your generosity. Now, me, I'm generous. You could ask any of my friends. I've been generous since I was a kid, since I was a boy. I remember my mother saying that to me. She goes, "Honey, you're so generous. You don't have to give that person that you don't have to give that person a stick of gum just because you're chewing a piece." I mean, it was like that. I don't remember that kind of stuff. She reminded me. And I remember because my grandfather was an iron worker, and I think I was 10 or 11 years old, and we went to a restaurant one time in New Haven, Connecticut, and where they were from. And I remember when the bill came, the tip was as heavy as the tip was as much as the bill. And I didn't know that, but my mom commented. She said, "Dad, why?" And he said to my mother, goes, "Because that server needs the money more than I need it." And my grandfather wasn't wealthy, but he was generous. He was a Polish immigrant. Came over here when he was 20. I think he came here when he was 9 years old. And so he worked in a foundry, and he was an iron worker, and hardcore union guy, immigrant. Knew the value of the dollar. And so that trickled down to my father, his son, my grandfather, my dad. My dad was a very good tipper in restaurants, and generous with his money. Not always. Conservative. Made a lot of money. But also with his children, if they needed help, he would take care of them. He wouldn't give us anything. He made us work for us. My father was he was a stern man. Didn't have the greatest relationship with his sons, but had a great relationship with my sister. Of course, that was the day. It was the baby boomers, But he was a generous tipper. He was good to my mother. And it trickled down to me and my siblings, because we all tip well, and we're all generous people. So I'm not bragging on myself. I'm just creating the story I'm getting at to. Good English, Gary. I'm getting to. You can count on one hand. Most people can count on one hand, or two if you have that many friends. How many people that you know are freeloaders? The friend that is a friend of convenience. The friend that will show up only if you're buying. If you're buying, they're there. If you invite them out for dinner, if you ask them out for lunch, just to enjoy their company, because that's my soul. That's how I'm wired. For me, if I like someone's company, I'll ask them for lunch, for a cup of coffee, for dinner. Hey, let's go to the sporting event. Hey, let's go here. Let's go there. And I'm always the first to pay, because that's just me. I'm the first to reach for my wallet. And I have friends, or I had past tense, because I systematically eliminated them from my life over the past 3 years. The users, people that take advantage of your kindness and your generosity. And I'm sure people can relate to this. I do these programs so people can relate and think outside the box as I'm sharing my story. Maybe you can relate to them, because everyone has that friend or friends that are the last person to reach for their purse, or the last person to reach for their wallet to help out with the bill, or even offer to make it their treat to this time. Here, let me pay this time, Gary. Here, let me pay this time, so and so. You pay enough. Let me take care of this let me buy this coffee this time. You've done enough over the years. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2 men and 2 women that I've eliminated systematically from my life. And I did it as a process, because in the past 3 years, I've been reinventing myself. I stopped drinking alcohol. I started getting in shape, and I was getting my power back by being a single adult. Getting my power back, not giving it out to anyone. And people that have healed from different things, be it a relationship or a job or something of hard times, something that shaped you. You eliminate things that don't serve you anymore. That's the word, that don't serve you anymore. And the last thing on that, the last thing for me was eliminating people that took advantage of my kindness, people that took advantage of my generosity. The last person to reach for their wallet, the last person to reach for their pocketbook. There's a song out there. I don't know who. I think it was Styx that did a song. There's a line in that I forget the name of the song, but the line in the song was, "The fun never ends as long as I'm buying." I think that was Styx. The name of the song was "Too Much Time on My Hands." Look up that song. The party never ends just as long as I'm buying. And so I systematically got rid of people in my life like that. Done. I'm going to do me moving forward. So I'm sure people out there can relate. That if you have a big heart, if you are generous, because I think most people are good. I do. Overall, I think most people are good. I think most people would like to do right. And I think I have met people that have nothing. That have nothing to their name. No, I mean, they're barely scraping by. I've witnessed this in my life. People that have nothing and will take their shirt off their back for someone that they know is in need. I've seen that, man. There's powerful shit. That one was created by his higher power. The creator created this person like, wow, what a superpower, generosity, spirit. Doesn't have 2 nickels rubbed together, but it's going to give his last dollar from his pocket to this person who needs it more than he needs it, or more than she needs it. For years, and this is just something I did for fun. For years, when I would see these totes umbrellas, these little pocket umbrellas on sale in a store, I would buy 5 or 6 of them, throw them in the back seat of my car. And around the raining season, I'm driving around Cincinnati or wherever I was at the time, mostly Cincinnati because that's where I live. And I'd go by bus stops and I'd see people standing in the rain. I would stop, roll down my passenger window, call them over and say, here's an umbrella. And I did it just so I would feel good about that. That I did something nice for a fellow human being that was getting wet at a bus stop. That's how I operate. That's how my mind works. I'm one of those types of people that will see someone at a bus stop, a mom with groceries, with her kids, getting soaking wet by the rain, and it makes me want to cry to see that. That's just how I am. I'm super sensitive like that. So I mean, I don't have a lot. I'm not poor by any shape. You know, I do okay. And I'm going to do okay going into retirement because I did well with my money. But the thing is, I'm generous. And if there's people out there that can relate to that and would do that, would give their shirt off their back for the person in need, would give the umbrella for someone who's getting wet in the rain, a mom with groceries and their kid waiting for the bus line. You're rare. People like us are rare. So when you're feeling down and out and you're just thinking that you're, man, I shouldn't give so much. Maybe I shouldn't do so much. Maybe I shouldn't pay all the time. Stop paying. Start taking care of yourself more. Take your power back. And for the people out there that are listening to this that are generous, that have a good heart, that are caring, that do care about their fellow man, the well-being of the fellow man, people, strangers they don't even know. But if you're generous and you have a good heart, every now and then, if you feel like you're down and out, maybe someone at your job is bugging you, maybe your wife, maybe your husband's giving you a hard time, maybe you feel bad about something that happened, feel good about yourself knowing that you are one of the rare ones in this life, because they don't make too many of us anymore. We're rare. I go to the same restaurant every Friday for a hamburger, a cheeseburger, french fries, and a cup of coffee. I'm doing it for a couple of years now. They count on my face to be there. I love the service I get. My bill comes to like $19. I leave them $20 for a tip. I just chuck them 20. A friend of mine said one time that I took this gal with me one time, just a gal friend of mine. And she goes, "God damn, Gary, really? You out-tipped the bill." And I looked at her and said, "Are you paying for this?" And shut her right up. Don't tell me how to tip. I learned from my grandfather and my father. And I'm a generous spirit. I'm a generous soul. What's $20 to me? I'll make that. I'll lose $20 and I'm betting on a horse race. Because I like betting ponies. I'll chuck $20 at a race. What's $20 to me? I'm a single guy. I got my resources. So that's all I got today. I mean, it's a quick one, but I just want to talk about it. I was thinking about this. I think about a lot of stuff. I have a lot of content in my head. I think about a lot of stuff, and I just talk about it here. And hopefully people out there can relate. If you're one of the ones in this world that is super generous with your time and with your money, you're rare. Know that you are rare. We're few and far between, people. And if you happen to have Klingons, meaning people, I call them Klingons, that will be the first to go somewhere and the last to offer to pay, get rid of them. You don't need friends like that. Take your power back. Give to charity. Give to total strangers on the street that need an umbrella. Go to restaurants by yourself for lunch, dinner. Tip your waitress or waiter heavy. Heavy. And you may leave after you tip them and go out the door and not see their reaction. It doesn't matter if you could see their reaction. You know in your heart that made their day to get that monster tip. Because maybe they're taking care of a parent that's sick with dementia. Maybe they got a handicapped child at home that needs special needs assistance in school. Maybe their husband just got laid off from their job. Maybe they're working 2 jobs to make ends meet. Maybe. And if you could be the difference in someone else's life and give effortlessly and without reward or validation from someone, that you tipped them well, you took care of them, you were generous, you're a good person because you're rare. People like us, we're rare. That's all I got. Hope you have a great Monday. Take care of yourselves and each other. Thanks for stopping by. Peace out.